Psychology unit for learning, which brings permanent change in behavior. Learning. Who was considered as the father of educational psychology? Edward Lee Thorndike. Experiments on trial and error method of learning in animals was conducted by Edward Lee Thorndike. Any response followed by reward will be strengthened. Unsuccessful response will be weakened is explained by the which law of learning? Law of effect. The direct relationship between repetition and the strength of the stimulus-response bond is explained by which law of learning? Law of exercise. Learning takes place best when a person is ready to learn is explained by which law of learning? Law of readiness. Classical conditioning is learning through association and was discovered by Ivan Pavlov, who is considered as a father of operant conditioning. Skinner. According to which principle, behavior that is followed by pleasant consequences is likely to be repeated, and behavior followed by unpleasant consequences is less likely to be repeated. Operant conditioning. Which reinforcement strengthens a behavior by providing a consequence an individual finds rewarding? Positive reinforcement. Which reinforcement is the termination of an unpleasant state following a response? Negative reinforcement. Extinction means cessation of a response. A tendency to respond to a stimulus which similar to original one is called stimulus generalization. Learning by insight theory was developed by group of Gestalt psychologists, which refers to the reinforcing of closer approximation for performing a desired response. Shaping. Operant conditioning is used in a form of treatment known as behavior modification. The application of skills and knowledge learned in one context being applied in another context is called transfer of learning. The organism's ability to store, retain and recall information and experiences is called memory. Encoding or registration means receiving, processing and combining of received information. Storage process in memory involves creation of permanent record of the encoded information. Retrieval in memory process helps gaining access to the encoded, stored information when it is to be used. Sensory memory, otherwise called immediate memory. Short-term memory, otherwise called working memory. The visual sensory memory is called iconic memory. The auditory sensory memory is called echoic memory. Information in the sensory register lost for fraction of a second to a few seconds. Information holds in the short-term memory for a period of 15 to 30 seconds. Information in the long-term memory stored for days, months, years and even a lifetime. The loss, permanent or temporary, of the ability to recall or recognize something learned earlier is called forgetting. The new learning interfering with material previously learned is called retroactive inhibition. Prior learning interferes with the learning and recall of a new material is called proactive inhibition. Loss of memory is called amnesia. The process of classifying, or branching, things into groups for memorizing is called chunking.